So I probably need to talk about why I haven't been uploading a lot lately. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and I'm Bill, and yeah, I feel like I need to make an update. So this just kind of started off in a bit of a awkward slope with me. It's still kind of awkward to record around the house and everything like that. I did also try and do more streaming this year, but so far it's not really worked out in terms of scheduling it and just overall just if I really want to continue streaming. I should be more clear, this ain't a scripted update. I've literally just turned on the camera right now just to say stuff that needs to be said. So the reason there hasn't been any more videos lately is because one, I've not been feeling too well. On Sunday last week I got hit with a massive headache, sore throat. You can still kind of hear it. I've still got a bit of a pain in the throat and a stomach ache. I don't want to go into detail about that. That was awful. It was an awful feeling. So rather than using that time to edit a video, because I had to miss work those days as well, so I'm behind on my work, so they're probably going to get me to do some overtime, which I would be completely okay with, because, you know, I have kind of had to leave my colleagues at work without any help. The other reason why there hasn't been any videos is because my internet hasn't been the greatest. Like, when I was recording or streaming Resident Evil 7 last week, my stream cut out like twice. I don't know why. I just assumed, you know, it's just a bad network error, you know, things happen. Big deal, right? But then it happened the next day when I was just browsing the internet. It just kept cutting off, just randomly. I was doing it more frequently after the stream as well, like, it would happen every like 20 minutes, sometimes even less than that, and I was like, what is going on? So for a week, we had to wait for an engineer to get down. Well, nearly a week. They actually came a lot sooner, and they actually fixed the problem. Something to do with our wires and the neighbours. So I live in a flat. I don't live in a house or anything like that, so a lot of our internet's kind of connected. So that's kind of fixed, but there's still a few like network errors now and again, so I think it's just adjusting. So I'm still not going to record any episodes like the podcast. I think I should also say, the podcasting for this channel, some things are going, some things are staying. Obviously I'm still going to continue the Death Battle discussion with me and my mates, but in terms of DC, it's going to be awkward to do that. One of the reasons is that Duo Dreamer is of course going through some issues that I have no right to talk about. I'm sure he's publicly said what the issues were, but I don't think it's in my place to say whether, you know, it's a big situation or not. But to me it seems very serious, and I think he should probably just take time just to adjust. In terms of Richard as well, scheduling with him is kind of difficult. One, I live in the UK, he lives in America. And the other reason as well, he's not been feeling well. I think he's announced this on Twitter, he had kidney stones. He's getting better though from what I've heard. I regularly go onto Discord just to ask, hey, how you doing, mate? So yeah, I think the DC content is going to be kind of mild down. So unless Richard and me can think of a perfect day where we can just record and just yabber on about DC content, I think for now it's kind of going to be like postponed or maybe even cancelled outright. In saying that though, I have discussed with Jaru, who you may know, who was one of my other co-stars on, or I guess co-host on discussing Death Battle. We've talked about potentially talking about Resident Evil 3's remake. I've actually wanted to talk about horror games after I've played them, and Jaru's a big fan of horror games. In fact, recently he's doing this thing on Twitter where he's talking about like SCP monsters and ranking which ones from like scary to intimidating to awesome. I'll leave a link to that in the description, you should definitely check that out. So that might be a thing that could come soon. We're still discussing that and when we can do it, when we can record it, because of course he's in the process of moving, I believe. In terms of Let's Plays and stuff like that, they're relatively going to remain the same, but I've been thinking, since I'm going to be wrapping up Resident Evil 7 soon and moving on to Resident Evil 8 next month, I'm actually thinking about not doing big Let's Plays anymore. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I do want to do like let's plays of certain games if they interest me enough, but I think I mostly want to stick to like one-off games that similar to what I do, and of course like collab games like Among Us. I've been loving Among Us, but taking a break from it because I was playing with Bro Baskets and his mates a while ago. I kind of pissed him off a bit with the way I play. I can't help it. I have to be a little troll now and again when I play a game like Among Us. So I think I'm probably gonna leave it, let them play a bit without me, just so they can, you know, not deal with my trolling. In fact, I did want to record some of the airship map, but like I said, I want to take a break, or let them take a break. But yeah, I mostly want to just stick to those sort of games, and occasionally I'll do like multi-part let's plays, especially with like Resident Evil and maybe some other horror games. I actually did get a new game for my PS1 emulator, which if you remember, that's how I played Dino Crisis last year. And this was called Parasite Eve. And from what I've heard, it is like Resident Evil, but there's some changes to it. Like it differentiates from Resident Evil. It's not like Dino Crisis where it's just a Resident Evil engine they just slapped on dinosaurs onto it. So Lads Discussing Death Battle is still going to be a thing. Lads Discuss DC content probably not going to be a thing as much. After Resident Evil 8, I'm probably not going to do that many major Let's Plays, just mostly one-off games, or games I just find on the internet that seem appealing. And like I said, occasionally I might do some like major Let's Plays. In terms of streaming though, I'm not sure I want to continue streaming actually for a while. I didn't hate streaming, but I don't know, I feel like after a really bad experience of trying to get the internet to reconnect again, and especially since most of the footage of recording a Twitch game gets edited down to a regular video like I'm doing with Resident Evil 7 just so people on YouTube can view it, whenever something goes wrong in the stream, it's kind of irritating because when I'm recording these sort of games, I can easily edit them out and fix the issues. But with streaming, not really as much. Like for instance, when I was recording Resident Evil 7, randomly my audio was cutting out. So while I'd be talking from it, then I realised, oh crap, my audio's off. God damn it. Then I had to pause the game in the stream and then fix it. Whereas if something like that happened while I was recording, you know, I'd see it and then just pause a bit, let it fix itself, and then resume. And then when I'm editing that, I can just edit it out. So yeah, I thought I'd give a little update of what's happening with the channel, because there are some changes I want to make, especially in terms of like content I make. I still want to continue Lads Discuss Death Battle. I still want to finish the Resident Evil game. I still need to get through Resident Evil 6, and then but since I've moved on to 7, because the next one's coming out so soon, so look forward to that. And yeah, tomorrow I should have the part 2 of Resident Evil 7 out, and I should be able to just record these like normally. I should probably actually also say that Resident Evil 7 is not going to be streamed anymore, it's going to be just recorded. You know, I think it's for the best, and it will help relieve the stress. So thank you all so much for watching, and thanks for sticking with me for so long, and I have nothing to end this random update segment up, so take care.